Okay, in this third video, I'm going to go through a search the way I recommend doing it. The first thing you're going to do is pick your state, and then it loads every city that I could find. The actual city list is about 28,000, so choose a state first, and then it'll narrow down the cities. And they can still be pretty long. I think some states will have over 1,000 cities. But I'll just do. You can type in the first 3 characters of the city to go directly to it. Since I'm located in Tallahassee, that's the one I'm going to use. If you want to save your location, I've restyled this screen a little bit whenever I added the state and city. And then if you can set the radius. I'm going to leave that. Minimum and maximum model years. Sid was recommending go with 06 to 2012. Minimum ask price. You use this to really weed out any junk listings. Might leave this the same, or you could up it to 2,500. Maximum ask price. You can leave this blank to not have an upper limit. Lately I've been setting it at around 20,000. We'll go 19.5. Maximum mileage. And if the dealer's just wanting to find any kind of vehicle for his lot, I would leave it just like this. You can use the make and model selector to narrow down your search, and then just going over the different values. The difference in value, when it finds a listing, it takes the ask price and compares it to the trade-in value, and that difference, if it is equal to or less than this value, then it considers it a match. So, in fact, the local Nissan dealership here ran a radio spot, and they advertised that they would give you $1,500 over trade-in value for your used car. So we'll just change that to $1,500 to match exactly what they're advertising. The condition of the vehicle, that's pretty obvious. And how to estimate. Whenever when it looks up the value of a vehicle, it'll return all possible styles and options. And if the lister added a VIN number, a lot of times there'll only be one style and one value. But if there is more than one, you can use this to decide how you want to use those values. The default is average, which it takes all possible styles and options and averages the trade-in. Or you can get the minimum if you want the lowest trade-in value, or the maximum, the highest trade-in value. For right now, we'll just leave it at average. And I can show you how you can fine-tune it once you get to a listing. And then the number of results you want it to return. Okay, so I've run the search. It takes you to your previous searches or your search history screen, and pretty soon you'll start seeing some vehicles start showing up here as it goes through all of the listings. I'm going to pause it for a minute so that it can do the work. Okay, you can see that it found 38 matches in Tallahassee with the search parameters that I used. So we can just click view, and it has already returned all of the values. What happens, the web app creates the search and passes it to one process that grabs the initial list of vehicles. Then another process grabs the values. Sometimes all the values will not be immediately available, and you'll see them. They'll have little spinning symbols to indicate the value has not been returned yet. And sometimes there may be one or two rows in the listing that will continue to have the spinning image. You can just reset it by selecting the year, make, and model again, and I'll show you how to do that. But to explain the color coding, if a row is green, that means that the difference between the asking price and the trading value is less than the number we set in the beginning. And so for this search, it's $1,500 or less. If this number is negative, that means that the trade-in value is higher than what they're asking for the vehicle. So a red row basically means that whenever the app tried to go grab a trade-in value for this vehicle, it couldn't find it. And it's normally because there's something wrong with the listing. They did not spell it right. And we can, if you click on the name, year, make, and model of the vehicle, you can get the details for it. This is a Dodge truck, so it's probably a 1500. Sometimes Dodges will be incorrectly, it won't be able to grab a value because I believe it was 2011, it changed from Dodge Ram to just Ram by itself. So what you do is you click on the edit button, correct the make and model, and then save the changes, and it requests a new value for this. And as you can see, that one changed from red to green. So here's another one, also a Dodge Ram. So we'll change that one. Save. And that gave us another green row. So what I would do next is sort it by difference, and these rows that are kind of close, that one only had one style or option, but some of these others, if you can get more details about the vehicle, this one you can't. You see this one's a some of them you can see the obvious what the options are. You can go in and pick. See, this one's a CRV EX. So sometimes you can, if you find a better match, it'll change from white to green. And here's where, if the dealer wants to really dig in, he could actually call the person, shoot them an email, and ask them for their VIN number, and that way he can get a more accurate valuation. And once he's satisfied with his listings, he's picked out the ones he wants to go after. You can highlight. Well, first of all, if you wanted to send the email to just a single person, you would click on the email address. The email image, and then fill out your message. For this particular account, I haven't saved any templates. Normally, you would be able to choose your template, fill it out, correct it however you need to, and hit send. If you want to send an email to multiple people at one time, check as many as you want to send and click send batch email. If you hold down the shift button, you can select multiples. Once you've got them selected, you can just hit send batch. If you want to clean up the list, you can select several and then hit delete. You can also export a list, but you have to have at least one selected before you hit the export button. And I think that's pretty much everything you'll need to know.